But anyway, back to the North of the Wall scene. When the dragons come, in this whole season, the dragons actually up to the first half are shown to be like super powerful. They take place in that giant.
They should. Okay, I'm gonna say they should be super powerful because we've been building up for 7 seasons about how powerful they will be. We've got stories going on and on, so it's justified that they're powerful.
What do you think about? What do you guys think? Now, this is a split opinion about the Night King's Javelin throw that kills. I think it's Viserion.
Okay, let me speak. Let me speak about the dragons. Firstly, in the first few episodes, the dragons you could tell them apart. It's really difficult to tell the dragons apart now. You see Drogon and there's the other two, you know?
Viserion
and Rhaegar. The major rule for story narrative is powerful weapons have to be set up. There's a rule called Chekhov's gun. Chekhov's gun is like, you know, in a film when you see a gun in the first scene and everyone's like looking at it and like, I wonder if this gun would work. And in the last scene, some guy has to use it to shoot somebody, and you're like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense."
Like prime example would be Breaking Bad, the last season. If you have seen it, that's another story.
Yes, perfect example. Another one within Game of Thrones, which didn't quite work, was the ballista anti-dragon weapon, which was set up. It didn't work out, but narratively, the dragons have been set up for 6 seasons. Remember, in shows, things are powerful depending on how much screen time they get. So,
but then I just want to say about that.
But then the javelin just turns up. He throws it 300 meters, arcing perfectly, and it decides to kill.
It's a one-hit kill.
Yeah, I mean, for people who are video game fans, it's like you spend all this time and experience to build up your super powerful unit or weapon, and then some guy comes along and he uses an overpowered one to destroy you, and then you turn the game off.
But don't you think it changed the dynamic of the whole show, where everyone's in the back of their mind, everyone thought, the White Walkers are coming, but there's dragons. They're just going to burn them all down.
Don't get me wrong. What they did wasn't wrong. The way they set it up was wrong. What they could have done is shown a javelin to be powerful in a previous episode. One example is he could have thrown the javelin and it could have injured a dragon, and everyone would be like, oh crap. But then maybe another dragon has to stay and sacrifice itself, and it's like, okay, it dies, even in the same scene, or maybe in another episode.
No, but they do show those the White Walkers' weapons. They shatter all other steel whenever they touch it, apart from...
that's not quite the same thing. I mean, we've seen spears and stuff hit into dragons with no effect. In fact, no weapon, apart from that ballista, has had any sort of effect on them.
Going back to that ballista, the ballista, firstly, it gets reloaded by one man so quickly, and he fires it at a very upward angle, and it seems to carry a lot of force, which I think seems pretty unrealistic. I know people will say, "Oh yeah, why are you being so technical?" But he loads it way too quickly, and the dragon, although it has a giant ballista fired at it, doesn't realize that, hey, that guy just tried to shoot me. Let me burn him down.
If we are going to go technical, it's very difficult to hit a moving object, even though a hard large flying with a ballista. I mean, he missed the first shot. Drogon could very easily have just burnt the entire ballista alive the first second that he saw it.
It's true, some of the setups are pretty weird if you think about it. But let's talk about the javelin. With the javelin, before all this javelin nonsense, we thought that Daenerys is like OP if you talk about it in gaming terms.
Yeah.
She's just too powerful. 3 dragons and no one can tame them, no one can stop them. So anyone in Westeros, they can't do nothing about
not quite. The dragons are a double-edged sword because they're so powerful, but they're a bit uncontrollable as well, as we've seen before.
Yeah, they were uncontrollable.
But now they
had an arc for this. She couldn't control them, and then she kind of...
That's it, yeah. So everyone thought, nothing to do with the dragons. Now that this javelin throw, I think actually kind of...
This javelin throw is a balancing patch.
For me, that's exactly what it done.
But you can't... Do you understand why you can't do that? You can't have 7 seasons... You can't have 7 seasons of setup with dragon and you're like, bam, it's dead. It's got to be set up. You got to be
set up. I think the shock factor does carry. I do see what Oasis' point is. It balanced it out. Now if you think about it, now we're going into the last season. You think, how are they going to defeat the White Walkers? Because they can kill everything. And even dragons don't work against them. So now there's a sense of everyone's vulnerable again.
Yeah.
It's almost like going back to the Superman strip where the dragons are invincible. So no one's worried about the White Walkers. Now, because one of the white dragons got killed, everyone's like, ooh, the White Walkers.
That's it. And now...
It's still...
Okay, I accept it was set up wrong, but I think something similar needed to happen.
Impact, you just
probably.
That addition from climax to further climax.
Do you think Dany wasn't sad enough that one of her dragons, her supposed children, died? Or was it lack of Emilia Clarke's acting abilities?
She wanted